What's going on, everybody? Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate you being here today. We are going to kind of go through the game award here, the nominations. I've got it pulled up here on the screen, so if you're watching on YouTube, you will be able to follow along with us as well. Today I have with me Dadalorian and I have Wookie. Yeah,
Hey,
what's going on, guys?
Hello
You guys
there.
having a good day?
Of course.
All right.
absolutely.
Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it very much. Uh, let's go ahead. Let's get started. Best esports event. I have absolutely no dog in this fight. I don't know if you guys watch any of the tournaments, but they have
Uh,
here the League of Legends, Blast TV, Evo, the Dota International, and Valorant champions. You guys watch any of that stuff at all?
Not those in particular. I dabble into the Halo Championship series every now and then,
Okay.
but not really much of the others. I have heard about them though, but not, it's just whenever it pops up.
Yeah, I dabble a little bit in Evo 2023. How about you, Wookie?
Same thing. I really don't dabble in much of that stuff. Again, maybe some of the Halo stuff, but that's really about it.
Yeah. Well, sounds like I'm the only one that kind of is watching anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Evo for myself. No, I don't want to sign in. I've got to sign in to vote, obviously. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, I probably would get more invested into it if I knew the teams a little bit, but I've always been hard with like teaming up with somebody unless I know them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, like for instance, if you decided to start competitively gaming, I'd be paying attention to you, or you know,
Right. Somebody you know.
yeah,
That's fair.
like there's a couple YouTubers that we watch every now and then that they try to compete, but the ones that actually do compete, we don't really bother. It kind of gets monotonous after a while.
Right. Kind of all seems like
yeah.
it's the same gameplay, anyways.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of sweats,
Yep.
just trying to get popular.
Yep. All right, next up, we've got best esports coach. Once again, we are probably going to have no dog in this fight. There is a Christina Chi for the Evil Geniuses Valorant, Danny Zonic Sorensen for Team Falcons Counter Strike, Jordan Gunba Graham, Florida Mayhem Overwatch, Remy XTQZ, I had no idea, Team Vitality Counter Strike, and Yoon Sung Young JD Gaming League of Legends. I don't play any of those games besides Overwatch, so
I know that Counter Strike is none of these games are easy, but I know that people do not mess around with Counter Strike.
yeah. Yup. What about you, Wookie? You got a favorite coach?
Um, well, since I don't watch really any of it, I guess between Counter Strike and Overwatch, that's about it. Outside of that, and to lean more towards the side, go with Overwatch.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's kind of how I leaned. And of course, next one is going to be the best esports team. Evil Geniuses for Valorant, Fnatic for Valorant, Gaming Gladiators, Dota 2, JD Gaming, League of Legends, and Team Vitality for Counter Strike. I don't know any of these dudes, so
No, I again, like I
I'm
have
gonna
no.
I'm gonna vote for the one that has the best outfit.
That's
So
right.
I don't keep up with this stuff. These dudes got flames on their shit, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a whole different world too. Like those are people that eat, breathe, and shit competitive gaming.
Yeah,
Like they don't. It's numbers, it's skill, it's popularity, it's algorithm. Like there's so much that goes into that. and it's a whole other animal.
Yeah, it's just not something I'm willing to bother my life with. I just want to play the video games and move on.
I feel that. I
I've
agree.
watched, a lot of the Mortal Kombat and Injustice tournaments, but only because they were debuting a new character that day.
We're more or less here for the entertainment, not for the competition.
Yep. All right, once again, some more esports stuff. Lee Faker Zhang, League of Legends. Matthew Zaiwu Herbert, CSGO. Max Demon 1, Mazanoff. Paco Hydra Ruziwez for Call of Duty. Park Ruler Hey Hayuk, League of Legends. Philip Imperial Hall Dozen Apex Legends. I have no idea who any of these people are.
Yeah. No.
So if you guys have a say, go on ahead and pull forward.
I mean, pass.
I like that. I'll vote for the dude who plays League of Legends because his name is Faker. So that's good enough for me.
That's right.
Best esports game. We can have some input on this one because we played quite a bit of these. Well, sort of.
So what we got?
2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant. So
Ooh.
I personally would go PUBG Mobile, just because I think PUBG on the mobile device is pretty cool. What about you guys? You guys got a fight?
I mean, I've only ever done PUBG Mobile a couple times, and that's I think yeah, I'd probably have to go with that one simply because I've had some experience with it. Not really much of the others.
Right.
Not like we none of us really here completely dive into mobile gaming. It's not really our. I don't want to say we're old school because we're not. We're never going to get old. So,
I like the style of Dota and League of Legends, but I mean,
yeah,
those guys are way too crazy when it comes to playing those games casually. You just get yelled at and made fun of, and yeah, I'm not gonna go on doing that.
Yeah, no, there's a time and place for talk like that, but not that. Yeah.
All right, and I guess I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Content Creator of the Year.
Okay,
I only know one of these people.
What do we got?
Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spring, and Cypher PK. And then over here in the box that's not marked is your boy Darth Biscuit. But they didn't put me on there for some reason, so that doesn't make any sense.
Well, obviously, not being biased, but Darth Biscuit would have to be on there.
I think so too. I think he's a great guy.
I think the rest of them need to learn that it's you got to be able to invite your audience into a comfortable state instead of just being like, blam, here's the news.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Get humbled again. Experience that feeling of being new and diving into something that you're unfamiliar with, but you understand the medium.
Yep.
So
make you nervous. Some stress is good.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of these. It sounds like these guys are being nominated for Game of the Year. They're probably used to the publicity and the attention. I've only ever heard of Cypher PK, and that was because of Fortnite.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah, no. It needs to go back to realizing that when fun becomes work, it's obviously no longer fun.
Yep.
Not everyone comes on the internet to make money. if you have fun and end up making money, that's cool, but just don't lose the fun.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not many content creators that I will go out of my way to share or like or watch even unless I'm having a good time.
And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Unfortunately, I don't know any of these people besides Cypher PK, so that's who I'm voting for. Uh, on to vote number 7. Most anticipated game. I have
Oh,
a super dog in this fight.
all right, let's go.
So this is recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. You already
Okay,
know I
so
am voting for Final
yeah,
Fantasy VII Rebirth.
yeah.
There's no doubt. I am ready for this game to come out yesterday. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, Kingdom Hearts fan. Anytime something's up like that, I'm sorry. I'm just going to let you know right now. I'm going to be biased. I'm going to pick either of those games over anything every time.
I'm not looking forward to Outlaws. That's
Yeah,
and that's
that game
I'm a
scares me
st-
more than
I'm
anything.
yeah, and like I'm a big Star Wars person.
Yep.
Uh, we all are. Look at our fucking names.
Yeah.
Like, but
Dadalorian, Darth
yeah,
Biscuit, and Get Wookie.
yeah. So just the idea that I I just wanted Star Wars 1313. How hard, like
Yep.
just fully commit to it. Like I'm not asking for a GTA Star Wars clone, despite on how nice that probably would be. Um, but Outlaws doesn't. I don't know.
It
I'll have to.
seems
I'll
too
have to
friendly
wait.
for the name Outlaws.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
think
It doesn't feel
Outlaws, I
like.
think Western.
I also get a bunch of like. I feel like there's an agenda with that game. Like a game like called Outlaws needs to feel like it, like you were just saying, and it doesn't feel like it. What it feels like is that we're pushing an agenda of some
Yep.
sorts,
Yep.
and I can't necessarily put my thumb on it, but it is familiar, and I'm not liking it so far. So out of the ones listed, I would have to agree with you and go with Final Fantasy simply for the fact that I think out of all of those games, it's going to be the better one.
Yep. I agree. I think Hades 2 has a pretty good chance of being a really good game as well. It seems like
Yeah, that's
people
that.
really like that first game, so. But
Yeah,
I'm
that's not
biased,
that's
so
not me
I'm voting
saying.
for 7 Rebirth.
Yeah, it's not me saying that the rest of them are going to be bad. No, it's just that usually I would jump to Star Wars and be like, I'm ready for the next Star Wars.
Yep.
But, after they pulled pretty much all their teams away from Battlefront 2 when the popularity was getting good, it just, the next good game that we had of Star Wars was Survivor.
Yeah, and I was extremely disappointed with that game. I don't know about you
Like,
guys, but
I mean, it was fun. I thought the story was trash.
yeah, I thought the story was really bad.
Like there was something very very special with Fallen Order, and it was 100% the story. Like I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't mind the open world aspect. I didn't mind the customization. I actually really enjoyed the customization. Um, but I just didn't feel invested with that, and I think I'm not going to be really invested and the outlaws. And I hate saying that because, like, who doesn't want to be a Star Wars outlaw? Let me be a bounty hunter. Let me be a smuggler. Let me go, be able to customize my own starship and just give me a GTA Star Wars clone. Let's
Yeah.
just go.
Let's go.
1313. Like, damn it, they just panned the remake of Kotar. Like, can we just?
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
discussion for another time. I'm thinking about making my own video on that one, so I don't want to touch that one yet.
I'm devastated. I'm devastated.
All right, Wookie, how are you feeling about the most anticipated game?
Uh, honestly, out of all of those, I personally I'm not excited for any of them.
Okay, that's fair.
Like I know Final Fantasy is going to be a good one. It's been around for a minute. It has a very good base with it. So
Yeah.
I know it's going to be a good game. It's just personally, I'm just not too excited for it for the games that are coming up.
That's completely fair, man. That's why I brought your opinion in on this one because you were sitting there kind of quiet, but I knew you were brewing something up. It seemed like, uh, yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. That's good. That's a good opinion. It's okay to say this one looks good, but I give two shits about the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair. All right, here's the one that I really love, and I'm so torn on this one, guys.
Oh,
Best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. The
Oh man.
nominees are Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last
mhm.
of Us, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal.
Oh my god. Uh,
Now
I will. I think Twisted Metal. Damn
I
it!
think Last
Like
of Us was a really good one.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to be different on this one. All right, you ready for this?
Yep, go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
think. I think. I think Twisted Metal should get it because I think that one would have been the hardest to adapt. And we talked about this when we were watching it.
Yep, yep.
I think Twisted Metal should win because it took something that was near, in my opinion, near impossible to do.
Oh yeah,
It's a battle royale game
yeah. The
for
original Battle
for
Royale.
yeah, and they not only made us enjoy it but also feel it. They got a good story with it, and they did really good. Did they release the entire season at first, or is it like they waited?
I think they did it in parts.
Okay, I don't remember because I thought Peacock dropped the entire season and said just go for it, but I
They
don't
may
remember.
have. They may have. I don't
I
remember.
I
I
think they did.
remember. Yeah. Okay.
I think
Cool.
they did because I think that's something else we talked about is that we were like, hey, Twisted Metal's out, and you went ahead and watched it before we did,
It's a
and
blast.
we binged it in 2 days. Like
It's a blast.
I
It's
think
got some
so.
pretty stiff competition, though. I mean,
I mean,
Mario Bros was great. I think that's probably gonna end up taking it, unfortunately.
I
Last of
mean,
Us was fantastic. They had the change up there with the story of Bill. Gran Turismo, phenomenal movie. I don't know why anybody didn't go watch that. And then
that
I didn't watch Castlevania Nocturne. I couldn't get into the first series, so I'm gonna stick
yeah,
around
I
for a
didn't.
second one.
I didn't watch Castlevania. Like I said, I voted Twisted Metal because that would have been the hardest to adapt.
Yeah,
Because like when you already have a good story, it's just easy to ruin it.
yeah,
And so not saying that it's difficult to make it just as good in its own unique way. Not saying that. What I'm saying is that when you take something that has no story, yeah, it might give you creative freedom, but if you're not paying it off in certain ways while making it worthwhile, like it's spoiler alert, it set it up for season 2 where we're actually going to get Twisted Metal.
yeah,
So like,
yeah. I thought that was a really cool setup.
and so like for me, like obviously I loved Gran Turismo. That made me want to go and get the steering wheel, which I still haven't done yet. The Last of Us.
I've got it right here, big boy.
The Last of Us made me I love writing, especially like as the world is ending type storylines. And that first episode, oh, I've rewatched that episode a numerous amount of times.
It's tough.
But I could not imagine going, all right, guys, we have little to no budget. We have little to no history on these characters. Because even in the games, you really didn't get a backstory on
Right.
really many characters. You just got an introduction. That's mainly it.
Yep.
I think it was Twisted Metal. I want to say it was Twisted Metal Black is when we really got more background on people. But I'd have to go back and look that up.
I think they had
And
little
so, I don't know.
details like the biography in the original games. I can't remember. I would really look forward to seeing all of those come to PS Premium.
Mhm.
I think
I
they've
am-
got a couple right now, but yeah,
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. So yeah, I'm gonna be different on this one because usually I'd go straight to Last of Us. The Last of Us hit me hard. I loved every second of it, and then usually it'd be Last of Us, and then it would be Turismo, and then because that movie's a feel good movie.
yeah,
I love that movie. Real story, and then Twisted Metal, and then I don't give a shit about Castlevania.
yeah.
So
What about you, Wookie?
See, I've seen Castlevania. I like the first season of it.
Yeah,
Now, I didn't get to watch the second, so I can't really speak on that one. Let's see. Again, my top goes to Last of Us because I what was it when I was watching the season? I didn't really know what was pulling from. Like, obviously the game, but I didn't play the game.
yeah.
So then I played it while I was watching the season, and it just I
that's right. Yeah.
believe they did phenomenal with it, and the changes that they did with it, I don't think were bad whatsoever. I definitely think it made it better to me.
Okay.
It made it a little bit more. Oh, what's the word? I want to
Unique?
say, yeah, unique. Made it more unique.
Fair enough. So we've got Wookiees voting on The Last of Us. Dadalorian is voting on Twisted Metal. I am going to break that tie, and I'm going to vote for Twisted Metal. I know that
Oh,
probably
shit.
seems crazy. You probably didn't expect that. But Twisted Metal completely blew me away with what I was
Yeah.
going to expect in that to happen. The Last of Us and HBO, I knew it was going to be good. Pedro Pascal, I knew was going to be fantastic. I wasn't so
Internet
sure
daddy.
about Bella Ramsey, but I had expectations, and they met every expectation. Twisted Metal, I had none because I thought it was going to be horrible. I thought it was going to be bad as Peacock. I mean, come on, it was lining up to be bad, just as bad as the Halo show with Paramount Plus.
Didn't it get delayed too because of COVID?
Yeah, it did. So
Yeah, so like it just was not in the favor. That Halo show's complete and utter garbage.
yeah.
Just a side note.
Unfortunately,
So
what?
yeah, I love it. I hope Twisted Metal wins. We'll see. But I have a feeling it's going to be between The Last of Us and then Mario Bros. And I think Mario Bros. Is probably going to come out on top.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's the next one. Best multiplayer. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party
Right.
Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Why the hell is Street Fighter 6?
Because it's online. I mean, you can play online. You can do co-op.
It's
Street Fighter
obviously
6
got,
is
like,
a phenomenal fighting game as well. I will say that.
I heard from people's opinions that have both. They think that the fighting mechanics are better than the new Mortal Kombats.
100%. After I'll wait until we get to Best Fighter, and I'll talk about Mortal Kombat. But yeah.
Baldur's Gate, man. Like
Uh-huh.
we all love D&D. We like that fantasy world, and they took their time and cooked it.
They did. They cooked hard.
And then when it came fresh out the oven,
Hey, I love it.
that game just blew up. And now, even better, we're getting physical copies next year, and you bet I'm getting it.
Good. You gonna get the big bundle?
Oh, probably.
Hell yeah. What about you,
I'm not. I'm
Wookie?
not pre-ordering it. I'll wait, but yeah.
I assume you vote for Baldur's Gate 3 as well.
I'd have to say, yeah, so it's a little biased because I what was it? I played Diablo early on. Yeah, it
I told
wasn't
you.
all that
I
great.
I
haven't heard
I
anybody
told you
say
it was gonna
Diablo 4 is
suck.
going to be good, so.
I mean, I was at the time I was trying to get back into it, and it was all right. It wasn't bad, but no, I definitely say Baldur's Gate 3,
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I bet you really like that Diablo update.
Oh, oh yeah, where it just made everything worse. Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. Everyone jumped into it. We had so many people trying to get us to play, especially with it being it was free on Game Pass, and so like they were just like, "Come on, get into it." And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm I'm not gonna invest a lot of time in something that I know is just going to go sour quick.
Yep. That game was built for live service only, unlike
Yeah,
the other Diablo games. Unfortunately, I think
Very
3
much.
and 2 will forever be my favorite games. So I voted for Baldur's Gate 3 simply because it's like the only game on this list that I've done multiplayer for. If you haven't been watching and you're here now watching, I have 2 uploads right now of Baldur's Gate 3 playing with a friend on YouTube. And that's with my buddy Jeremy that I work with. So if you want to see that, go over there and check that out. Moving on to the next category is best sports and racing game. I feel like you guys might have an input on this one. I know you guys have played 2 of these games at least.
Right.
EA Sports Football Club 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and the Crew Motorfest. Now, I feel like you guys have played Motorsport and Hot Wheels too. So, I'm going to let you guys talk on this one because I don't have a dog in this one.
I mean, so I'm a sucker for Hot Wheels,
Uh-huh.
and obviously, hence the name. I have children,
Yep.
and so it's just it's. I've been
It's
waiting
fun.
for I've been waiting for the price to drop on the second one. But if it's anything like the first one, which from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, all they did was just do nothing but improve and add new stuff. And so, but it's it's a Hot Wheels game. Uh, again, motorsport. Um,
I haven't heard too many good
I,
things
I
about that. That's kind of like the worst rated Forza that I've heard of.
that's kind of what I'm getting at. And so, it ain't much of an opinion, but I would go again. Video games are meant to be fun. If I want to play, if I'm in a certain mood and I want to compete or I want to do X, Y, and Z, I'll play those games. But Hot Wheels is one of those games of if you win, you're gonna have fun. If you lose, you might even have a better time.
Yeah,
So
I can
I'm gonna
appreciate
go with
that.
Hot Wheels.
What about you, Wookie? You got a dog?
Uh, it definitely have to be Hot Wheels because it is family fun. Yeah, hey, with the little nephews and everything else like that. I know they absolutely love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It seems like
you
that's a
can't go with the.
pretty unanimous decision there for Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharge.
Oh yeah.
All right. On to the next one. Best Sim and Strategy. I have played 3 of these games. So I have a bit of an opinion. I don't think you guys have played these, but I may be wrong. So first off, we have the Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, City Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. Have you guys played any of those?
No, I was tempted to dabble into the fire one,
Yeah, Fire Emblem.
but I don't have a single fight in this one.
What is it? You said Companies 3?
Company of Heroes 3.
Heroes 3. I think I've seen some gameplay on that one. And that one to me looks very interesting. Kind of like a type of game that I would like to play.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd probably go with Company of Heroes 3.
Hell yeah. Well, I have played Advance Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. I'm a huge slut for Nintendo. I personally, I do not like to vote for things that are remakes or remasters in awards. Simply because they should be based off of games that came out this year.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, to me, it comes between Pikmin 4 and Fire Emblem Engage. Pikmin 4 is absolutely wonderful. They got some new Pikmin. They got that fucking little dog thing. I think it was like a Roachy or some shit. I can't remember the name. Hilarious. Fun game to play, but best sim and strategy, best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation and strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. And to me, that screams Fire Emblem Engage way more than any of the titles on this list. Engage is absolutely fantastic. I love the characters. Love anything Fire Emblem, period. Nintendo and Intelligent System does great with those. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. I know
Yeah,
you might have played some of these. There we go. Best family game: Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. You guys got an input on this one? Because I do, and it may be kind of different. So I'm going to let you guys speak first if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on this category here.
I mean, we watched you play Wonder.
Yep.
And then I've seen people play the new Sonic.
Yep.
And I really feel like those two games right there are going to hit the majority of audiences.
Yep.
And from what I've seen, I don't know. It'd be a tie between those two, and not just simply for their popularities, but like the Sonic game. I love Sonic. I love their games, especially the older ones, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it's not my age, but a Sonic game can get repetitive.
Yep.
And you know that will keep some kids' attentions, I would like to say, but I think Mario is going to end up taking this one. Like, from watching you play and watching other people play, you even said in your thing, you were like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like Mario is going to end up taking it. So I'll put my vote on that one.
What about you, Wookie?
I would say Mario. Family friend game, probably for a while. So I would definitely say that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I would definitely give props for Mario Brothers Wonder. It's a fantastic game. It will leave you wondering what the hell is going on at multiple points in that game. It has lovely music, fantastic gameplay, a good reimagining for the original Super Mario style. right? That original classic gameplay.
It's
But
definitely more chaotic.
I have to vote for Sonic Superstars.
I'm
That
curious.
game is phenomenal. It's, to me, it edges out Mario Brothers Wonder just by a hair. Just by a hair.
What
And
broke it?
now I think it's the inclusion of being able to play as Amy, Tails, and Knuckles as well.
Okay.
The level gameplay is more on par with what a Sonic game should be compared to past recent years.
Yeah.
So I am gonna vote for Sonic Superstars. But I think Mario Brothers Wonder is probably gonna take it.
I'm glad that Sonic, since the movie, Sonic is coming back.
He is. He's
Like
definitely
more,
had kind of
more,
a reboot revamp, huh?
and that's why I was very impressed with this game.
Yep.
So, who knew that? Like, obviously, whenever they decide to refix his face in the first one, that there was such an outcry.
Right.
That right there should have told Nintendo, should have told everyone that, hey, there's still quite a bit of people that care about our little blue friend.
Yeah.
It's not just Mario and it's just not Pikachu. Like, we have Sonic. We
Yeah.
have we have the Sega Genesis guys. Like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to, like you, associate Sonic with being a Nintendo character now. He is
yeah.
on the other platforms, just to be clear with the audience here. But he has been very prevalent throughout this past generation. We've had Sonic Forces, Origins, Mania, Frontiers, and that game is godly, insanely different from any Sonic game ever. But still fun. And now Sonic Superstars, and you had the racing games, which doesn't make any sense at all to me. Why is
No.
Sonic in a go kart, bro? Like he's faster than a go kart. Get out and run. Right?
Like
He wanted
even
to take a break.
like even if he was a DLC character from Mario Kart, it still wouldn't make everyone would be like, why the fuck is he in a cart?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Unless he's pushing the damn thing.
Right.
Like
he wanted to take it easy on everyone else.
The next category here, my friends, is and I've got a little bit of a dog between two games here. God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. My opinion on this, I'm sure it's probably the same. I'm just going to go ahead and spit it out. I don't think Mortal Kombat 1 was that great. I think the story was good.
Yep.
Good enough, though.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like Mortal Kombat 1 took too many steps backwards, while Street Fighter 6 took way more steps forward. So Street Fighter 6 would be my vote in this game. Although Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 got some pretty good characters in it, but I've not played it, so. What about you, Wookie and Dadalorian? What do you guys think about Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6?
You go ahead first on this one, Joey.
Well, I'd have to say for Mortal Kombat 1, for me, more or less the characters. So I'm interested in the characters that are coming out for Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay, so the DLC.
Yeah. Kind of excited to see what that is. Not really played either one, but I know that Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat would be the better of those two categories, and I would. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. If you come up to a tie between those two, that's completely fine. What about you, Dad, Lauren? What's your opinion on this?
So I agree with you with Street Fighter 6. I think the previous Mortal Kombat game, how that progressed, and not only characters, the fighting techniques and style, and the story. I feel like where that one pushed forward, it copies the success of Street Fighter 6 or vice versa, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like the moves were made correctly with Street Fighter 6, much like the previous Mortal Kombat game. Mortal Kombat 1, to me, even like the story was good, but even then it felt like it dropped the ball on the story.
Yeah.
Like it's not terrible, it's not a bad story, but like the previous story, I was just blown away. Even with its DLC as well, I was like, "Oh my god, like who would have thought that they just found a very beautiful way to tie everything together to make a new line?" Which don't get me wrong, it's why I was trying not to be too harsh on the storyline with Mortal Kombat 1.
Yep.
But you know as well as I do, you have like you can give grace when it's due and when it's needed. And sometimes it's better to be extra critical, especially whenever you're competing against another fighting game like Street Fighter 6. I think Street Fighter 6 took full advantage at the fact that Mortal Kombat is starting to have to rehash things that they've already done, and they just slightly tweak it and say that it's new.
Mm-hmm.
And Street Fighter 6 is like, well, we're still cooking.
Yeah.
We still got room to grow.
That character
Because
customization was pretty nice too.
exactly. So yeah, like let's be honest. The other Mortal Kombat games where they were moving forward and they had room to grow, Street Fighter 6, not so much. Good games, but not nowhere near as leaps and bounds as the previous games. Now, I think the shift is coming. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat is starting to slow, and like it's always been a neck and neck race with fighting games like that.
Yeah.
So, like I'm agree with you on this one and say Street Fighter 6. Like I wish it was Mortal Kombat, but you know, still to this day I'm hearing more about Street Fighter than I am Mortal Kombat. You know, you heard
Uh-huh.
about Mortal Kombat prior to release, day of release, and that was it.
Yep.
And even then, people were experiencing glitches. They were having a hard time understanding the new combos, new fighting style. A lot of people didn't like it. Even you, uh, you didn't fully like it. Just didn't feel like the other Mortal Kombat games, which is good. But at the same time, it has to be good.
It felt like
If
it
you're gonna change
digressed
it,
more than it progressed.
that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna change it, make sure it's forward and not backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Still not bad. I'm just being extra critical. That's it.
That's completely fair. I mean, I felt like 9 weaved into X very well, and X weaved into 11 very well. Now, I think the issue
Yes.
is they had Injustice games in between those as well, and
Hmm.
with those games, they were able to kind of do things as well. And if they worked good, they kind of implemented that into Mortal Kombat and then back into Injustice. Whereas we
Yep.
just went from Mortal Kombat 11, then the DLC, and then into 1. There was nothing sort of in between. Now, hopefully, if they do an Injustice 3, I hope to God it doesn't play like Mortal Kombat 1. I
Do
hope
you
not.
think do you think Mortal Kombat 1 storyline should have just been like a DLC continuation, or do you think it's fine with it being its own separate game?
I think the story does fine on standing on its own. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it does very well. I think the inclusion of Raiden in a different line, in a different light, was very odd,
Refresh.
but very welcome
Yeah.
in my opinion. It was nice to
Very
see them mix
refreshing.
things up completely because I'm like, oh god, we got another reboot on our hands. Come on,
Yeah.
but I was okay with it. All right, best RPG. I think this one's gonna see a lot of heat when it comes to discussing these games. For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. The nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Liza P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. Yeah, I'm gonna let you two take it first, and we'll see. I will have to say though to start off the conversation before I let you guys go. I'm sorry, kind of jumping in here. Final Fantasy 16 is not really an RPG. It's more of an action adventure game. I will say that.
From us watching you, I agree with that.
Yeah. So take
It's
off with
very cinematic.
yeah. Take off with it, fellas. What you guys?
Chewy, I'm letting you go first because I will ramble. I will
See,
ramble.
unfortunately, I would have liked Starfield to be that next big RPG.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like there were, it's disappointing. Like I had fun with it, but after you get to 200 hours in it, though, it's just not that fun anymore.
Yeah.
And I went to spoilers. I went to the Unity, did all that, so I was able to go to beat certain factions and go through it all. But I mean, it's just it's not that
He
it's
played the
not
game
that great.
thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I still had fun, but it's just not as much fun as what I was hoping for. Because I was hoping to try to get lost into it for 1,000+ hours, with it being such a massive game as they promised, and it is a very big game. I wish it was more. Uh, as far as like the ship designing, I think they did a poor job with that, just like they did with settlement building in Fallout 4. I don't think much changed. They just said, "Here's some ship parts. Here's this. Go do it."
Oh, for people that don't know, Get Wookied is a Bethesda slut. He played 76. Like, this man will play any Bethesda game and give it its, whether it's biased or unbiased, he's going to play it thoroughly. So, just putting that out there.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted you guys to speak on it, because I know you both have way more of a dog in this fight. Because I tried playing it multiple times. I even knew that with the nominations coming up, I needed to play it a little bit, and I tried, and I couldn't at all.
See, now so like there's little parts in it that make it fun and just entertaining, and that's like went to this base or an outpost, and they're with the elements they spelled sarcasm, so that's funny. And then you have certain kind of lore that's in it. Yeah, you have to go find it, but it makes it more fun and interesting as far as figuring out that kind of world. But overall, it's okay. Outside of that, unfortunately, it just at first there's hype with it, and then it just went down as the days and weeks went on by after its release.
It's crazy that it did sell consoles, though.
I don't think it sold as many as what people think. I think it definitely sold consoles, but I don't think it was anything major enough to set Xbox up for the future.
Oh no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I was just shocked that it did.
Hey, I'm happy that it did, because again, anything Bethesda, if it can move it forward, that's amazing. I think the game should have definitely waited a couple more years to really flesh out those bugs and fixes.
Yeah.
That with it when it was released and launched.
20 years in the fucking making, my ass. Like, they didn't need no more time. All right, I'm butting in. This is bullshit. That game could have done so much better.
Oh,
like,
hell.
its story ended up becoming predictable. Like it felt lazy. Their own logic when it came to customization would not even follow its own. Like when you create a universe and you set its own rules, like, oh, the Force don't work like that, and then you go against your own rules, like with the shipbuilding. That's what killed it for me. I put way too much time into that game so I could customize freely because you have to be certain ranks and certain classes to unlock everything for your ship. And I'm talking anything from something super small to a giant cargo carrier. I wanted full reigns, and their own logic makes no sense.
They definitely should have given full reigns. They shouldn't have put a limit on how long the ship can be, how long and wide it can be.
Well,
I
how
think that
about, if I have a level 4 engine and I connect it to another level 4 reactor, I should be able to put those things on a level 3 or level 2 body of a ship. I
Oh
shouldn't
boy.
have to I shouldn't have to make my ship bigger simply because I have bigger engines.
Hmm.
What if I wanted a small ship, but it's got these giant, massive tits of engines? Like, ugh, it
Fair
killed it.
enough.
It killed it, Weston. I was looking like I'm just waiting for you can't Bethesda will never, and I will say this, they will never be able to recreate what made Skyrim special.
I agree.
They
I agree.
can't. They had one chance. Yes, like yeah, no, like I really feel like when Xbox acquired them, from that moment forward, that's when, Starfield really kicked it up into gear. For them to say that they've been working on this for 20 years, this should have been the next Skyrim.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, it still has that potential. But what made me just so irritated, and I hate it because it's lazy. Skyrim didn't need mods to make it better.
Hmm.
At first, you need to do that for Fallout, and unfortunately, you have to do it for Starfield. The mods are going to make the game better, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to allow mods day one." It's like, so basically, what you're doing is allowing your community to make a better version of the game, just so you can either monetize it, which they have with the Creators Club, or
So you have to pay for that on console?
So, well, I know that with Fallout 4, certain mods you actually had to pay for.
Oh, that's awful.
It is awful.
and there's also a Creators Club for Skyrim as well, and you have to pay for certain mods
It,
on there.
it, it,
Yeah, that's
it's for all Bethesda games. The Creators Club is for Bethesda games. So certain mods, like I found out that through my Sky, like I played Skyrim a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to see what mods I still had. Well, I had to uninstall all of my mods and start a new save because I found out that some of the mods that I had were no longer free. I had to pay for them. And I was just like, that is just wild. Like, that should not be a thing. Like, I can understand if, like, it's like paying for fucking DLC that's not real.
Right.
Like, and so, no, I don't think Starfield should even been on the fucking list. I think they only put it on there for the sake that Xbox wanted to be like, hey, look, we have something.
Yeah. That's fair. I
But
personally, I am going to vote Baldur's Gate 3.
we're
Uh,
all in agreement.
Starfield, my issues with that is too many worlds, not enough on any of them. I would have rather have
yes.
seen them focus on 4 or
We could spend a
5
whole
worlds
episode
in
shitting on
this
that
little
game.
bit of galaxy and flesh those out, and then add in like maybe another solar system into an expansion later on, rather than so many planets here right now and dog shit to do on them besides walk around really slowly. I also think Liza P is probably going to be in the contention for this. I've heard a lot of good things, watched a lot of gameplay. Looks fun, but once again, I'm not gonna play a game that's gonna make me want to chop my nuts off.
No, I feel that.
So yeah,
I just,
Baldur's Gate 3
yeah,
for me. That's a fantastic game.
I'll definitely
I just,
say Baldur's Gate 3 as well.
yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 all the way.
And best action adventures, the next category: Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think Resident Evil 4. I mean, I guess for this it could be nominated. I don't know. I'm not a fan of remakes being on here. I
I
would
agree
have
with you. It
rather
doesn't
have
make.
seen Final Fantasy 16 in this category right here, in Resident Evil 4 spot. I am going to vote on Spider-Man 2. That's my winner for this category. I don't need to speak on Alan Wake 2. I'm sure it's great, but I didn't care for Control. I didn't care for Alan Wake 1. I didn't care for American Nightmare. I didn't care for that game that was exclusive on Xbox, Quantum Break, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Survivor was way too fucking broken in the start.
Yep.
So, and then Tears of the Kingdom, I think is one that I have a very weird opinion based off of what everybody else does. I think it's the only game that is included that is actually $70 DLC. Fun to play, but yeah. What about you guys?
I'm a sucker for Spider-Man. So
Yeah.
100% all the way, especially with watching you stream it and then what actually goes on with it. Absolutely.
No,
I'm very interested in Spider-Man 2.
for sure, for sure. And Dadalorian, what's your opinion on this category, sir?
So, to dive into a little bit of what you said, I 100% agree that Breath of the Wild is a better Zelda game than Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
I think simply for the wow factor.
Yep.
It does. To me, it feels like the Nintendo version of what is now Modern Warfare 3. Like you just said, a $70 DLC that, like, people can argue for it, and they're going to, and that's okay.
This is our opinion,
Um,
and that's all this is. So
yeah, and so, um, what was it? You got Final Fantasy, Spider-Man.
nope. Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2,
Yeah, I know.
Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom.
So Survivor, we've already talked about it some. Like, it just did not have the wow factor. It didn't have that unique, like, unfortunately with Star Wars, it's not just about, oh, look what I can do. It's gotta feel like a Star Wars like story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really hard to branch away from. Some things have been able to do it very well. Others have not. And it's usually just a matter of opinion. Unfortunately, since Disney's acquisition, Star Wars has become a very toxic fan base.
Agreed. So be careful what you say.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm keeping it brief on that one.
It might bring us more viewers, though. I mean, hell, I don't know.
Hey.
Go for it. Talk shit.
I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has single-handedly ruined Star Wars.
Agreed.
But that's for another time. Again, I could ramble forever on some things.
What are you talking
Alan
about?
Wake
Could
2.
you best them?
Get out of here. Oh, shut the fuck up.
Kick him from the conversation, you Ray Skywalker fan.
My own wife is embarrassed that Dave Filoni can empower women in the way that they should be and be represented. Then Kathleen Kennedy's like, the South Park thing,
That is the
make him black and
funniest
gay.
episode I've ever seen.
Yeah, like make him female, make him gay. Like that's But anyway,
boy.
I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say about Alan Wake 2 outside of that. I think it's just overhyped.
Yep.
And I think the people that really like it are the ones that really loved. Yeah. What's funny is that the people that really overhyped Alan Wake 2, I personally don't think they've even played the first one.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's just by hearing some of their opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like with Diablo 4. A lot of people that overhyped Diablo 4, I don't think they've ever played the first one.
Yep.
But yeah,
Fall-
Survivor. I don't have anything on Alan Wake 2. Final Fantasy. That one, from what I've seen, from what I've read, from watching you,
It should have
holy
been in this
shit.
category.
Yeah. If it ends up beating Spider-Man, I'm not gonna hate on it.
Oh, it's not in this category. I just threw it in there because it's more of an action adventure than RPG.
Okay, well, in our little world, if it ended up beating Spider-Man, I would not be upset.
Right.
I have not seen the full campaign of Final Fantasy, but I have of Spider-Man. And I think what makes Spider-Man special is his heart.
Yep.
Is very relatable in that sense. That's what he was designed to be. And you know, I'm glad to hear that Spider-Man 2 was as good as a success as it ended up being.
Yep.
So, just like with you guys, I will have to vote Spider-Man 2.
Hell yeah.
That's just a tough nut to beat. Like just the name Spider-Man. Like there's a lot that goes with it, man, and you know this.
Yeah.
Like, even some of the crappier Spider-Man games that have came out have gained a lot of popularity simply for the fact that it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this right here on the website itself on the Game Awards, I'm still drawn to the Spider-Man picture. I've looked at it a million times already because there's two fucking Spider-Men there. The other one that's drawing my attention is the dude with the lightsaber. So, between those two, I'm like, which is the better game? Spider-Man 2.
Like I will let you know that if Spider-Man does not in real world, if Spider-Man does not win, someone paid somebody.
We'll see. We'll see. Last thing that I will say about this category, and I don't know how well you guys will receive it. You guys may think I'm crazy, but I think that Remedy Entertainment should have been something that Xbox bought for their studio rather than Activision Blizzard.
Ooh.
Next category here: Best Action Game. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
Armored Core.
I'd say
Armored Core for me as well. Dead Island 2 is trash.
Yeah.
Haven't played Ghost Runner 1 or 2. Hi-Fi Rush would probably be a very close second. That game deserves a lot of props. Did a lot of things for the Xbox community that hadn't been done in a while. They had a really good game.
I mean,
from start to finish. Good artwork.
Get past the first practice battle in Armored Core. Yeah. And it's just who doesn't like big robots fighting?
Yeah.
Sometimes simplicity is best.
Yep. And I don't know Remnant 2, so. How about you, Tyler?
Chewy's played.
Chewy,
yeah, I was going to say Chewy's played it a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely say it's a lot of fun, challenging, and I know that people were talking about it. It's like a they described it as a Souls game. And I can say through the couple bosses that I've had to fight, yeah, it's pretty accurate.
But
but
it's
it's
still
not.
giant robots.
It's giant robots, but it's not nearly as difficult or tasking as Souls bosses,
Mm-hmm.
and that definitely makes it fun because it's still challenging in
Except
its
for
own
that first
way.
one.
Oh, that tutorial boss was a pain. Silly enough, but I'd say it's definitely easier than a Souls game, and that still gives you that challenge to want to keep on doing it. Not like I'm just going to keep on demolishing you because you like that kind of stuff over and over again.
Have you had a chance to play the multiplayer on it?
No, not yet. I actually suck so much at it. I decided to give it a let me try to build up my robot real fast.
Fair enough. I love it.
What do you think of the customization on it then?
I'd say the customization on it is phenomenal. 100%. I'm haven't got all the parts to try to make a not Gundam. My bad. I'm sorry. It's eventually it's almost a Gundam-ish game, but not. But I haven't got all the parts to it yet. But I'd say it's definitely and it's interesting as well because you have to try to figure out, make sure it doesn't weigh too much as far as like your energy load. Because if you're overburdened, you won't be able to do a whole lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
or you'll be able to put certain pieces with it because you have to make it underburden and then make sure the energy is correct as well. At least doesn't go over too much.
Oh,
So it's definitely interesting to try to put it together. A lot of different play styles you could do with it.
yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one here. Best VR and AR.
Ooh.
Gran Turismo 7 VR, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. Right off the
Ooh,
rip, man, I'm sorry, Resident Evil Village VR mode. I love Resident Evil and I love VR together. So that's my guy. Close second is definitely Gran Turismo 7, a racing sim in VR. Very cool. The other ones I haven't played. How about you guys?
uh,
I know you guys have at least played Resident Evil in VR.
Yes.
I've attempted. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Too bad that wasn't recorded.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to say
Uh,
that I agree with those choices. That's how you put them in, because it is. You definitely have some scares here and there for Resident Evil 7, or not 7, Village. My bad. We've seen some gameplay off of the Forbidden Mountain, and it's
Looks
it's
like
not
a
that great.
climbing simulator. What I've heard
Yeah,
people
that's
call
essentially all it is. Climbing simulator. Maybe shoot some bows every once in a while, but
it. Yeah.
no, I would not choose that one. Yeah, and then I do believe it would be kind of cool to have a racing VR and experience all of that stuff. And
oh, bro, you have no idea. Like,
yeah,
Maybe
get
I'll bring it
lost into
over for Thanksgiving for a little bit.
Ooh,
Or Friendsgiving, whatever you want to call it. Play it
it's
a little bit.
Thanksgiving. I don't like that Friendsgiving shit.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
It's Thanksgiving. We're all thankful for each other.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm voting for Resident Evil Village VR, obviously. Dallas, did you have anything to say about this category? Excuse me, Dadalorian.
Hey, it's out there in the ether.
Yep.
You can love me or hate me. There's plenty of you on both sides.
Any opinion on this category there, buddy?
I think you know already. I'll say Gran Turismo, and I'll say it for the fact that there's something different. So when you play Village in VR, it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Having werewolves come at you is not fun, but it's fun that it's not real.
Yeah.
What makes Gran Turismo fun? is not only because it feels real, but if you have the ability and the skill to do it in real life, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, after watching that movie and sitting behind the wheel of a vehicle, I was like, I'm ready to go. Like, I was like, uh, had a bachelor party of someone that got that I attended. Someone, a friend of mine, got married not too long ago. We went go karting. Again, it was just racing, and the first thing I thought of was Gran Turismo. And I was just like, again, I was like, I'm ready to go. Like that story is real. He became a race car driver because of a simulator game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how crazy in an awesome way is that?
It's wild,
So
man.
I think I think Resident Evil's going to win, but I'm going to throw my hat towards Gran Turismo.
Fair enough, man. I get that. Best mobile game. Uh,
Mobile games shouldn't exist.
I agree.
It's
Okay.
They single handedly
Yeah.
ruined video gaming with their monetization.
There you go. It's out
yes.
there in the open. That's true. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Honkai Star Rail. Monster Hunter Now and Terra Nil. I'm going to vote Final Fantasy VII. But I have a dog in any of those, so
Pass.
pass. Same thing for you too, Wookie.
Yeah. Pass.
I figured. Best
Fuck you, mobile
debut.
games.
Hey man, I feel it. Best
They
debut.
ruined Battlefront 2. I'm still sour over that shit.
Oh
They had so
god.
much promise with that. Yeah.
Best debut indie game: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. I have never played any of these, so
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've never even heard of
Yeah.
any of these games.
I've
So
I've heard of them, but I've not bothered diving too much into it. I don't know, man. Like indie games, they they attract my wife more than they do me, and she's not really a gamer, but she
yeah,
does enjoy video games, and so I think sometimes the simplicity of the indie games is what makes that um, nice to go after.
right.
But not for me. I really just don't. It's another pass for me, man.
Hell yeah. Sorry about that. I had to step off. I thought I heard my dog barking. She was.
There you
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for the one because it says pizza. So
go.
There you go.
Hey, there you go.
there's that. All right, my camera's back on here. Close and best independent game. It's the same shit. I mean, come on. Cocoon, Dave the Rocket, Dread, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder.
Way to rephrase it in new category. Were they desperate to have content on this show? Like,
Honestly, I don't know. Once again, I still haven't heard of any of these games. Excuse me.
I just wish there was something as big as these nomination shows, but they talked about they got rid of like the political terminologies, and they were just like, look, this game fucking sucked. It's 2023, and let's be honest, it sucked because of lack of development, over budget. Like they just didn't care. They just didn't care. They just wanted to keep the license. All right, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Agreed. And I think I'm going to do that with what you just said. I'm going to move on. All right.
thank you.
Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy Online, that would be XIV, and No Man's Sky.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
fuck Destiny 2 and their community support.
Yep.
You can't keep making bad expansions like that.
Preach.
Cyberpunk 2077. They can screw off, man. I don't care about anything they do. Larian Studios with Baldur's Gate 3. The only reason why I will say they have good community support is because they released the game in full at launch and fantastic. It was a complete
Yep.
game. It wasn't buggy. Now, Final Fantasy, multiple expansions, quick turnaround, fun game, great online, blah blah blah, and No Man's Sky continually updating, giving you the VR advantages if you want to play that way. I believe it's on the Nintendo Switch too. So,
I think so.
that's kind of crazy. I think that's pretty good for the community reaching out on that other platform. Uh, but I have to give it to Larian Studios just based off the simple fact that they've done something that no studio has done in a long time. Releasing a game at launch complete and no issues. Absolutely beautiful. Nothing to buy. That's my vote. What about you guys?
I second that. You know, that's another reason why I was really happy that Elden Ring blew up, was because it was a game that
Baldur's
fully
Gate.
released.
Baldur's Gate. You said Elden Ring.
Yeah, no, I'm comparing it to.
Oh, okay, okay. My bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
I'm comparing it because, like you said, it's been a long time,
Yep.
and they're very far and few in between. Like you would think, I hate the idea that the hard work that used to go into video games died simply because of live service, because
Yeah.
of the internet. Like me, you, and Jewy keep going back to the games that we grew up on simply because you could feel the hard work and the soul in those games. There's not many games these days that have good, they got the soul in them. So
Agreed.
I agree with you. I second it. I think it's nice. It's nice. I'll leave it at that. It's nice.
Wookie, what about you, buddy?
I definitely agree, and I agree even more so considering that all the other game studios were like, "Yeah, we know what Baldur's Gate did, but don't expect that from us, though."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I,
no
Yeah. Thank you
shit.
for bringing that
The
up. That's a really good.
the
Yeah.
the balls.
I mean, it's disappointing that the other game companies can't do that.
Yeah.
It's greed, bro. It's greed. It's like, hey, we want to put the least amount of money in it, the least amount of work, but we want to have maximum outcome. It's like there's a simple fucking formula. Hard work with the right budget goes a long way.
100%. And it is unfortunate that when mobile gaming got a huge boom, console companies were like, "Hey, let's do that with our stuff," and the two just don't mix up. And unfortunately, as we've said before, Battlefront 2, the new one,
Ugh.
got affected by it really hard, along with
It changed the entire world. Like it made global fucking news.
Yeah, didn't Disney tell them to fucking change that stuff?
Disney
yeah,
Disney was trying to tell them that, hey, we're gonna end this early if you don't unfuck yourself. And so eventually they were working on it, and then they chose to bail, and Disney was like, all right, we're done once the contract is over. And the contract is done. And as much as I love the Dice engine, I'm glad. Fuck them.
For sure, for sure. All right.
but
I still
Next,
play that game though.
next
yeah, no,
category
definitely.
is best ongoing. Sorry, did you have something else?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that it is sad that no other game company will do that, and it's definitely prevalent in all the other games that have been coming out, and that it is so rare anymore that a game does come out that's full of content and the entirety of the game came out and not have issues and everything else with it. So yeah.
Yeah. Like the standard changed before the internet. The norm was that, hey, we're gonna put out a good game, And then when the internet came out, they're like, hey, if there's any bugs or fixes, we'll go ahead and fix them real quick. There ain't going to be much because we already made a good game. And then with the internet becoming the new norm, they're just like, hey, we're releasing this unfinished, unplayable fucking game. And if you guys support
Redfall.
us and do
What was that?
what?
Sorry. I think I had a little bit of Redfall come out.
Redfall. Oh my God. Oh, Redfall. Like,
Not wrong.
Xbox needs to get their shit figured out. What they already have. We talked about this with we'll save it for a different one, but
Yeah. Well,
just turn the internet. We'll just turn the internet off for a week.
yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen. Best ongoing game awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. I am saying Fortnite. I know that's
I
probably
agree.
crazy, but
I
that
agree.
game is so massive. They do way too many crossovers. They are fun though, and
Yeah.
the map is ever changing, and I like that. What about you, Wookie? You got an opinion on that, buddy?
Fortnite, absolutely. What were the other options?
So you have Final Fantasy 14,
Mhm.
Genshin Impact, Cyberpunk 2077, and Apex Legends.
Yeah, I definitely overall Fortnite, and then I'd probably say maybe Apex Legends after that.
Yeah,
But
I haven't. I
yeah,
played maybe a couple matches when it first came out, and I decided I
Bro,
was
you got
sticking with one battle
you got to do
royale.
cocaine to play that fucking game. That game is a balls to the wall. Like you got to have the right kind of tism to play that game where you're just glued and hyper aware of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not. That game's hard. No,
Yeah.
Fortnite for some reason, despite on some of its like battle passes being shit, it has a way to continue to keep it fresh
Mm-hmm.
at the right times. Let me specify that at the right times.
Oh yeah. Well, Fortnite it is. Next
And I think that's another
category.
reason.
Oh, go ahead.
That's sorry. No, I think that's another reason why they brought back the OG map at last second
Yep.
with this nomination and shit going around. They're like, yeah, we're gonna win this. Like,
I don't blame him. Games for impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I don't know what the fuck that means. These games look pretty weird to me already. I've never played any of them. Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sinnar, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Nil, and Vinba. I actually recognize the Chia game. I believe that's on PlayStation. This little girl turns into like other animals and stuff, but I've never played it. So,
so it's
uh,
essentially West. Well, shit. Well, there you go.
well,
Yeah, more or less, it's asking which political agenda game is your favorite.
okay, yeah, well,
At least that's being extremely conservative in that thinking.
yeah.
Like they're just trying to they built a game around a message that they're wanting to convey to audiences of any age, particularly the younger audiences.
Here's my thought-provoking game with pro social meaning or message. Uh, don't be a dickhead. Be nice to the
Yeah,
people around you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and vote for Chia because it's the only one I know. Uh, Wookie, did you have an opinion on any of these games for impact?
no, I've not even heard or played any of them.
All right, on to the next category: innovation and accessibility. Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. This is recognizing software and our hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience.
That's not Diablo 4.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
honestly, in my opinion, I've never met anybody with a disability that is having to use special hardware to play any of these things. So,
So
I mean,
I
Street
I have
Fighter
an
and Mortal
opinion.
Kombat 1, you can use Fighter Arcade Sticks. So, yeah, what's your opinion?
It'd be the fighting games.
Yep.
Um, from the video, because when I saw the nominations and we talked about how we're going to be talking about the categories and stuff, this is one that I really wanted to like. My biggest fear is always like losing one of my hands because
Mm-hmm.
I love video games. We all do, and you and I both know that if like hell, even if our thumbs go stupid, we still got the pads. But imagine losing your arm or your hand, and you can't enjoy those games like you used to, right?
Yeah.
the the fighting pads, especially when it comes to like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 6, seeing on how astonishingly easily accessible they are, and hearing the stories and hearing their actual opinions from firsthand experience, that was not meant to be funny. Um, but oh, quick trip to hell. But no, I think it would have to either be one of the fighting games. I think more of I think more. Damn, it's a tie between the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter when it comes to it. Like those
I
games.
voted for Street Fighter just because it's a better game.
I'll go with Street Fighter. I'll go with Street Fighter. I think. Yeah,
I think
the one I
honestly,
watched.
I don't know what game this guy plays. In general, there are two social media influencers I've seen on TikTok. I don't follow them, but I see their videos all the time, and I believe they always play something between Fortnite and Call of Duty. One of
Mhm.
them has, I don't know if it's just like a one finger at the end of his hand. I don't know the disability, so forgive me if I'm being insensitive. But I know that he is a phenomenal video game player, and seeing that dude just, I mean, cracking kids and
Yeah,
getting headshots is insane because I can't do that with all of my appendages.
I was
And
gonna say it
the
takes real skill.
Yep. And the other guy, I don't know his name either, but he has no hands and no arms, I believe. He has that thing that he plays with his mouth. It is fucking insane, dude. And that guy is, I mean, he's a legend. I don't know his name, but he's a legend. So
Yeah.
that's all I've got to say about the accessibility.
Yes.
Uh Wookie, you have anything to add to any of that?
Nope.
All right. On to the next one. This is one that I really, really love, and I already have my vote picked out. But I will go through here and tell you their names anyways and who they played. Uh, Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16. He played Clive, the
Yep.
main character. Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. He played Cal Kestis. Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. I don't know his character's name. And Melanie Lieberd, Alan Wake 2. Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3. I believe he played Asterion. And Asterion is annoying as shit, so I'm not voting for that guy.
Yeah. His fucking laugh
And
is annoying.
Yuri Lowenthal, who plays Peter Parker or Spider-Man in Marvel Spider-Man 2. My vote goes to Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16. Phenomenal performance.
I'll let you go first on this one.
Go ahead, Wookie.
Oh man. I think this is one where I'm gonna trust your judgment on this one.
Okay, that's fair.
Let's see, what is it? I did see oh, so you play some Spider-Man, so I love how he did his thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely gonna trust your judgment on that after seeing some gameplay with Final Fantasy 16. I'm definitely gonna head that direction.
Heck yeah. And you, Dadalorian.
So I'm gonna say something. I was very impressed with Cyberpunk with
Really?
Idris.
Okay.
I was. I was really impressed. Like, I'm not picking him because the Final Fantasy franchise, anytime I watch it or play or hear the voice acting, it feels like I'm watching a movie or a show, and it's just top tier all the way around. And I agree with both of you. That is my pick, but I want to give props to Idris
Fair enough.
because I was I was just like, oh, Idris, okay, well here we go. Like, let's see what this DLC is like, and watching his performance and everything else, I was just like, whoa. I was like, he really brought it, which is nice. Like, I will never be able to forgive that company for that game.
Mm-hmm.
For the diehard fans, good for you. I'm glad that the DLC was better at launch compared to the actual game at launch. I'm glad that the game has done better in its time of being fixed, that it's actually playable and actually, enjoyable to most people I've spoken to. Um, but I expect Spider-Man to do well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yuri Lowenthal.
but I'm not blown away. And I'm always blown away with the voice acting of
Yeah, I
Final
think with
Fantasy.
Marvel Spider-Man 2, Miles is more shined more than Yuri did. I
Yeah.
believe his name is Najee Peterson. Peters, maybe?
Yeah. I felt his performance more than the guy they nominated.
Yep, I agree.
I think it should have been switched. If it was switched, I probably would have been a little bit more like, hey, let's let the new guy take top this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty good. But yeah, no, I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm very impressed with Idris's performance. But I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy simply because it's hard telling if I'm watching a movie or I'm playing a game.
Hell yeah. Well, sounds good to me. I'm moving on to the next one. Best audio design: Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. I am 100% on Marvel Spider-Man 2. The sound of the wind rushing past you when you're swinging, whether you're flying with the web wings, the music, punches. Sorry. And unfortunately, I don't know too much about Hi-Fi Rush's sound. So if you guys have played that, definitely chime in.
No, honestly, I haven't played anything. I've wanted to play the remake of Resident Evil 4, and I wanted to play Dead Space, but no, I agree with you on this one as well. Spider-Man all the way.
Oh yeah. And what about you, Dadalorian? You got a dog in this fight?
I do. I think sound in music does a lot for any type of media.
Yep. Relays
It allow,
emotion.
it allow, it allows you to feel on a different level.
Yep.
Like like with The Last of Us, when that music kicks in, when he's holding his daughter, like yes, it's visually sad to see, and but when you hear it, it's a whole other ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I, I think Spider-Man. Sorry,
That was funny.
I think Spider-Man 2 does that.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man 2 does that. And then what was the other one that I was going to say? Oh, I think Dead Space is real close.
Okay.
I was in a lot of ways I want that one to beat Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, but again, like I was saying, you got to be able to. When it comes to Spider-Man, I like being moved, and his music has always been inspiring. You know, you feel everything, and that I'm not saying that Dead Space doesn't, but Dead Space is not a roller coaster of highs and lows. You are in a very bad spot. It is scary as shit, and you're about to die. So, like all that music, the sound, I think it's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Very like it makes you cringe when you hear certain things, and so it's a very, and I mean very close second to Spider-Man, but I think Spider-Man's gonna take it on this one.
Fair enough. Yeah, I
But
didn't
if
vote
Dead Space
for.
takes it, I'm happy.
I didn't vote for Dead Space or Resident Evil 4 simply because those games are remakes. So,
That's fair. That's
on,
fair.
yep. On to the next category. Best score in music. I had no idea this was going to be another side thing, but hey, we'll take it. For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh.
You already know what I'm voting for. It's FF16. Sorry,
Of course.
Yep.
not sorry.
The music that goes with that is just
Yeah, when I am fighting, what's his name? Ifrit, and you turn into Ifrit as well. That battle music is insane.
yeah.
Like, it makes it
You
so intense for me. I can't believe it.
you know it's good when after a game is released, you can buy tickets to go watch it live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it won't surprise me if Fantasy takes the cake on this one. It won't.
Awesome. Well, here we go. The next one is Best Art Direction. Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I already have my vote, but I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on this one first.
Mario.
Mario? Okay, that's fair. What about you, Wookie?
Mario's a good one. From what I've seen, maybe Liza P.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
All right. Well, my opinion is actually Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it comes down between Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, excuse me, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Tears of the Kingdom is something we've already seen, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's just Breath of the Wild 2.0.
Yep.
As far as art direction. Hi-Fi Rush, I mean, that animation style, the way those characters look from the gameplay that I've seen, but I haven't played it, so it's kind of a weird opinion. Liza P is insane.
Joe, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
And Mario Bros. Wonder, phenomenal
I'm
new
still
animation style, different than the way it's usually had been. But I'm going to vote Hi-Fi Rush. And on to the next category, Best Narrative.
Hey, we just came back.
Okay.
It says unstable internet connection on your end. Just you were talking about your opinion, and it cut out on our end. At least for me. Chewy, you back?
I've been here the entire time.
Okay, so wow, I'm on the far end of the house, so that explains it.
Okay.
All right, that's my fault, guys.
Nope, you're good, man. You're good. So now we're on best narrative, actually. So for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man 2. My opinion comes down to two games and two games only, and that's 16 and Miles or Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Baldur's Gate 3 I think is awesome, but it's kind of your story to tell. What story
Hmm.
are you making up? So I kind of view this as what is a narrative that has been set for you to play. And of course, I'm going Final Fantasy 16. I think it tells a better story than Marvel's Spider-Man 2 does. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I agree. Um, Now for Spider-Man, I really do love the the what was that? Second half story when
Yeah.
it brings up spoilers when it brings up uh, uh possible Agent Venom there for a little bit as far as the suit goes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then definitely more of the symbiotes that do come later on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is really cool, and for me, being a huge fan and definitely liking that stuff, I'd say that's a close second. But
Yeah,
from seeing Final Fantasy, that to me definitely top tier.
for sure. And what about you, Dad Lauren? How do you feel?
I can appreciate the other ones that have been listed. So I'm still iffy on how I feel about the Cyberpunk
Mm-hmm.
because the entirety of the of the main game is your choice on how you want to fix the city, right? Well, the DLC comes out and basically tells you that, hey, take a look around you. All the fucking hard work you put into the first game just went to shit. Like it was pointless.
Okay.
And so, um, I don't know, like I can appreciate that. Just I, I don't know how to put it into words. I can appreciate that some things you're not going to be able to change, no matter how much hard work you put into it,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's going to have its own like unique way of changing, and that's kind of how that DLC story went. Um, Spider-Man 2, I felt more like yeah, this one did not hit me as hard as the first one, story-wise.
Yeah, I think Aunt
Uh,
May passing in that game really gave
and
that
even with
final
Miles,
finale to push on
even the
that.
Miles game, that one hit me really hard too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think without those two games, like if you didn't play those two games or at least know the story, you're definitely not going to be moved at all
Yeah.
through this one.
Yeah, like I
You're
know
just going to be
people
like,
who haven't played the Miles Morales game that have played two. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop.
yeah, they're going to be like I said, take those two games away and you play this one, or actually even better, have those two games and you play the second one. It's essentially a checklist of like, oh look, there's Craven. Okay, oh we got that. Oh we got this. Oh we're building up to this. Like it feels like just a bunch of check marks
Mm-hmm.
instead of a story.
Yeah.
And I know we've been agreeing with you quite a bit during our talk, and I know that Final Fantasy has just been taking a lot of it, but they don't miss.
Never.
And so my vote is again. I'm agreeing with you and voting for that one.
Oh yeah. Well, we are on like the last few votes here, so it's probably gonna be a little bit more beefier here. Best Game Direction awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. You have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. My opinion on this is Baldur's Gate 3 because they had the better creative division and game direction and design because it came out as a complete game. Period. That's it. That's all I have to say about this one.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Agreed 100%.
Makes sense, right? I mean, they put all that pressure on all these other studios, and like as Dadalorian previously mentioned, don't expect that from us. Like, are you kidding me? Because
that was
is the
Chewy.
bar
That was
really
Chewy.
that high? Was it Chewy? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Chewy brought it up. I was waiting for him to bring it. Yeah, he brought it.
My bad, Wookie. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, man.
Good call out. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. I guess everybody's in agreement there.
Yeah, that just seemed pretty easy, honestly, to pick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of categories for obvious picks.
Yeah. And that's one.
But that's also what happens whenever there's not when there's not many good shit to bet. Like, when was the last time we had multiple bangers and then a show like this pops up and it's like, ooh, who's gonna win? They're all equally good.
Yeah, 2023 was a really good year for gaming. Really good year for gaming.
Unstable connection again.
I'll say you're still here. All right. Did I miss one? I think I missed one. No. Just go back through here and make sure that I've hit everything before we hit the big vote for the night.
Oh boy.
I cut out. I'm so sorry, guys. My internet on my end just keeps going to shit.
You're fine, dude. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, we did miss one. I'm switching back to best action game. I forgot to vote on that one. My apologies. Now I'm moving back. So the last one here it is. The last question of the night. Game of the year, fellas. So my obvious opinion is Resident Evil 4 shouldn't be here. I think
Agreed.
Final Fantasy 16 should be in that spot. So with that being said, that leaves us with Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And what it says here is Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Go ahead, Wookie. You're up first, buddy.
That sounds like Baldur's Gate to me.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Just with the choices you can actually do for it, and then the completion of the game that as a whole given to you, there's no other option.
All right, simple decision for you, Dadalorian. What's your choice here, buddy?
I mean, I agree. It's not like we have God of War and Ghost of Tsushima competing with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're back. Unfortunately, we're back in another swing of, you got this phenomenal completed game versus good game, but, lack in some areas, and then you have more shit games. So I'm going to give it to the game that still continues to grow in its popularity.
Yeah, so my opinion is kind of is right there on par with you guys. Baldur's Gate 3. I think Marvel Spider-Man 2 should win it, which I know is kind of crazy. Good story. They developed better from the first game to Miles Morales. added in some different combat options, cleaned up a few things. Miles, fantastic character. Peter, fantastic character. And Harry, coming in for the first time and being Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they said Harry wasn't going to be Venom, I knew they were lying. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
what
they
other
were full of
options were they
shit.
throwing out there?
Yeah.
So that's who I would love to see win it. Between Spider-Man 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. But here's the deal, boys. I think
Yes.
Tears of the Kingdom's going to take it.
I will go ballistic.
It's fucking Nintendo worldwide, man. I don't see it not winning, but I'm voting for Baldur's Gate 3.
I agree with you. I agree with your perspective. I'm just really worried that is the case.
Yeah, well, I mean, keep in mind all these votes were put in by what Jeff Keighley say. He said that they are put in by multiple sources around the world, and he doesn't get to vote. So we'll see. I think our votes count. I think it's very marginal, very small. But I mean, this is going to be based off of media, and right here, this is what the media chose to be your game of the year between all these right here, and I just don't see. I don't see them putting anything above Tears of the Kingdom when it comes to the media. Now, I will say that it's earned between Mario Brothers and Tears of the Kingdom. They have multiple times put out fantastic games over the years. They put in the work the studio has.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4's remake, in my opinion, doesn't deserve to be up there. Marvel Spider-Man 2, as good as it is, as great as it is, I just don't see them voting for that. And then Alan Wake 2 may be up there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, I know we haven't talked about Alan Wake 2 a whole lot here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think it's just going to be one of those games that the diehard Alan Wake fans are going to be the only ones that really appreciate it.
Agreed.
Like that's such a hard game to be like, oh, it's a sequel, and I'm never played. Let's get into it. It's like that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you're actually just trying to review it, kind of like what everyone here does.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, no, I can see Tears winning.
For sure. We'll see. We'll see. Well, that's all the votes for every nomination made. We've kind of broke down each one. I'd say that's probably close to the end of our show. I would like to mention here, this has the How to Watch. The Game Awards does air live and free on Thursday, December 7th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and then 12:30 A+1 GMT. I don't even know what that means. The show airs across all major digital, social, and gaming platforms around the world. If you would like to watch it with us, I will definitely be live watching this with this in the background. So if you want to come hang out with me, I will be doing that on December 7th. And I think maybe we'll have some people in the Discord just chatting it up with us as we go along. So with that being said, make sure you follow me on all of the social media. It's Darth Biscuit 116 on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I think that's it. Oh, and Twitch and YouTube, obviously. Same name there. So if you want to catch anything else, look for my content on there. It's readily available. I try to update as much as possible. And if you just want to see me play some games and just have some fun, I stream every Friday and Saturday night at 8 p.m. So I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for stopping by and listening. And I'll see you next week for the next podcast. Later, y'all.